Thank you for dropping by at Equity Communities of Practice, the convening place for cross-sector collaboration, community advocacy, and personal development, where development and growth are key to achieving sustainable and effective change. Our mission is to leverage insights gained through ongoing community building to promote health equity across all sectors, including finance, education, healthcare, public health, environmental justice, corporate social responsibility, and more. For more information, visit our website at www.equitycommunitiesofpractice.com. Together, we can make a difference. And now your host, Executive Director, Dr. Harry Pettaway, aka Dr. Harry the Equity Coach.
I said good evening. Y'all couldn't hear me, but that's okay. Hey, we're trying something different tonight. Let's get into this quote. It's time to buy back the block. Time to buy back the hood. I'm about to buy back the hood. It's time to clean up the ghetto. A dope boy wanna shine. Time to buy back the block. Talking one brick at a time. How y'all doing tonight? I'm Dr. Harry from Equity Communities of Practice, and I am here to break the same old that you're seeing in your news feed. Same old rhetoric, not happening here. We are going to break those silos down. We're going to not preach to the choir, because hopefully we're reaching other people. And we're going to break those personal algorithms. So I'm glad that you're here tonight. We are following up on this series. And of course, whichever platform that you are joining us on, please pick one. Try the QR codes. I'd love to know how they work. Like, subscribe, hit the pound button, whatever it is. The notification icon, comment in the chat. If you are just here for the tech, let me know that too. Today, we are going to be talking about community input as a social determinants of health. And I would like to know, how are you arriving? Me, I'm feeling a little bit validated. Had a chance to talk to somebody about something that I thought was in my head. But guess what? It's not just in my head. It's in everybody else's head. This is part of a series. It may be, we might be on the second to last episode of this pilot series. We are celebrating Social Determinants of Health Month here in Michigan. You might see me looking up here because my monitor down here is broke. But, and when we talk about social determinants of health, we talk about a few things. Economics. No, that won't work. Let's bring it back. Economics, education, healthcare, services, built environment, and of course, my favorite, social context. And as I said before, today, we're going to be talking about community input. Community input refers to the active involvement of individuals and groups in shaping decisions, policies, and programs that impact their health and well-being. It ensures that those most affected by public health initiatives have a voice in their development, fostering solutions that are relevant, equitable, and sustainable. Within the socio-ecological model, community input operates at multiple levels, influencing individual behaviors, organizational practices, and broader policy framework. Two key approaches highlight the importance of community input: design thinking and community-based participatory research. While design thinking originates in the business sector and CBPR in public health, both models share the same foundation: centering the experiences, ideas, and needs of those directly impacted. These methods emphasize co-creation, shared decision-making, and iterative problem-solving to address complex challenges and promote equity. As a social determinant of health, meaningful community input enhances trust, improves program outcomes, and ensures that interventions reflect the lived realities of diverse populations. However, poor or tokenized engagement can lead to mistrust, ineffective solutions, and missed opportunities for community buy-in. By embedding community input into public health policy processes, leaders can create systems that are inclusive, responsive, and capable of addressing health disparities in their roots. And just for a second, and I hate doing this while I'm live, but I need to fix a screen. Thank you for your grace on that. Hey, community input. It's an interesting one, especially nowadays. So it's interesting what we call community nowadays. So typically when we talk about community input, we are talking about I live in this community. I have input in what goes on in this community. You see that kind of input, especially in Michigan, when you think about the listening sessions and things like that. It gets interesting from a public health perspective for me, because we have to be careful with community input. And one of the things that I learned as a public health student when I was working on my PhD, it's this concept of don't ask if you're not going to provide. So I've seen this in my personal research post PhD, talking with folks from rural health and things like that. So one of the things that happens is that you'll have research students like myself showing up and talking about changes that we would like to make, trying to get the community to tell them what they think is most important, and nothing comes from that. So the idea of one of the warnings that they had in the curriculum was, if you know you can't provide the services, don't ask about the services. Don't ask what they want if you know that you're not going to do it. I always thought that was a little weird, because if you don't know what they need, then are you going to make it? But for the most part, it is important to have the community participate. I moderated a session back in the day when the forum was still around, and it had to do with decolonizing philanthropy. And I mean, talk about a clickbait title, right? Decolonizing philanthropy. It's one of those that like, okay, what are we getting into? But the gist of it had to do with how funding sources were coming into communities and through philanthropy, obviously, and how those funding sources were mandating how the money would be spent, rather than asking the community members what would work for them. So when you think about communities, whether it's, let's talk about an online community, right? You might have an online community dedicated to something like inclusion, workplace, or whatever it is. We need to be careful about that, because those communities, which are, you consider are trying to create change in a positive way, you need to make sure that they are working in an iterative fashion with the members of those communities. I know I keep saying community. The point is, don't build a new park if they really need a new school, right? It's kind of one of those things. You need to always ask what we're in it for, what you're trying to do, and making sure that those that are being served have a voice in how these programs are being developed. It also impacts buy-in, things like that, whether or not I'm going to show up at the blood pressure screening program. Did we want one? Did we need one? Is it at the right place? It can save a lot of time and money if you do involve the community. So we are going to keep this one short today. I would love to hear in the chat, what does community input mean to you? Have you participated in planning something that involved the community? Did you ask the community what their needs were? Do you have any lessons learned from when you did not do that? Have you been in a program that you really wish they asked you what your thoughts were and what will be best for you? So One of the things that we are trying to do, again, is to invite folks to come on over to Equity Communities of Practice, where we can help you break your personal algorithms. Also, something that's new. Here is a QR code to the lyrics that we had in the very beginning. So the quote that we had, this is Rick Ross, Buy Back the Block. It's featuring 2 Chainz and Gucci Mane. Again, I keep showing these ones with very explicit lyrics. Hope you understand, not safe for LinkedIn, not safe for work, but it is an interesting song. Hey, with that, we're going to close it out. Thanks for dropping by today. Show out tomorrow. It's going to be the probably going to be the last in this pilot series. We've got most of the bugs worked out. Again, we were celebrating Michigan's Social Determinants of Health Month, trying to utilize the hashtag. Some folks from Michigan might realize that I'm the hashtag czar, trying to get everybody to use it. But hey, it's been great talking to you tonight, and have a good one. See you tomorrow.